Downton Abbey has finally closed its doors with the long-awaited grand finale, delivering an emotional, nostalgic, and heartfelt conclusion that fans have hoped for. After more than 10 years of following the Crawley family, their loyal staff, and the grand estate itself, the story now finds closure, one that feels bittersweet, yet deeply satisfying. Those who have loved the series from the very beginning will likely smile through tears as the film ties up each character's journey. What makes this ending especially powerful is the way it blends memory with progress, reminding us that while time moves forward, roots and traditions are never forgotten. At the center of the story is Lady Mary. She has always been one of the most pivotal figures in the Crawley saga, and now she faces her greatest challenge. Her marriage to Henry Talbot collapses, leaving her a divorced single mother in a society that still frowns upon women in her position. Divorce brings judgment, whispers, and disapproval from both her peers and even members of her own family. On top of that, her father, Robert Crawley, the Earl of Grantham, decides it is time to step aside and entrust the future of Downton entirely to her. For Mary, it is a heavy weight. Not only must she raise her son alone, but she must also carry the survival of the estate into a new era. Just as Mary struggles with these responsibilities, an American businessman named Gus Sambrook enters her life. Connected through her uncle Harold Levinson, Gus appears charming and worldly. Mary, vulnerable and yearning for companionship, allows herself to be swept away, even spending a night with him. But soon the truth is revealed. Gus is nothing more than a swindler, seeking to manipulate the Levinson fortune. Thankfully, Lady Edith, who has grown into a confident and capable woman, unmasks him and protects her sister. This turning point not only exposes Gus, but also highlights the transformation in Mary and Edith's bond. Where once there was rivalry and bitterness, there is now loyalty and support. Rather than letting the scandal break her, Mary finds resilience. She leans on her own inner strength and on the unwavering support of her family and staff. The community stands behind her, and even Robert, who once doubted her ability, finally trusts her enough to step away. He and Cora retreat to the Dower House, embracing retirement, while Mary takes full control of the Abbey. For the first time, she becomes the true head of Downton, facing the future not just as a single mother, but as the determined matriarch who will lead the estate forward. Her farewell moments with Edith and with Anna Bates carry a heavy emotional weight. Behind the camera, the actresses admitted that shooting these scenes felt like saying goodbye to each other, as well as to the story they had lived for more than a decade. One of the most poignant sequences arrives at the film's conclusion. Mary walks through the grand, echoing halls of Downton and, in a moment of quiet vision, sees shadows of the past. She recalls the servants' ball from the Christmas special, a joyful night when the family and staff danced together without barriers. She sees her late sister Sybil, her beloved husband Matthew, and her formidable grandmother, Violet Crawley, the Dowager Countess. The sequence is both nostalgic and deeply personal, not only for Mary, but also for longtime fans who have grieved the loss of these characters. The moment ends with Mary standing before a portrait of her grandmother, played by Dame Maggie Smith, who passed away before the film's release. The scene becomes both an in-story tribute and a real-world farewell to the legendary actress whose sharp wit defined so much of the show. Michelle Dockery, who plays Mary, admitted that filming this scene brought her to tears, especially when the music from Mary and Matthew's old love theme played in the background, a choice suggested by director Simon Curtis. It is a farewell that feels perfect. Elsewhere, each member of the Crawley family and their household staff finds resolution. Robert and Cora finally allow themselves peace, leaving the constant burdens of the estate behind. Lady Edith, secure in her marriage to Bertie Pelham and thriving as a newspaper publisher, achieves the independence and influence she once only dreamed of. Her newfound strength also enables her to support Mary, proving that the sisters have finally grown beyond jealousy into mutual respect. Isabel Grey, Lady Merton, continues as a steady presence, offering wisdom and companionship. Tom Branson, the former chauffeur who married into the family, has built a life of his own with Lucy and their children. Though he lives away from Downton, his bond with the Crawleys remains unbreakable, a symbol of how the family has always adapted to social change. Downstairs, the staff, the true heartbeat of Downton, also receive their farewells. Mr. Carson, after more than 5 decades of service, finally accepts retirement, while Mrs. Hughes remains as housekeeper, keeping order with her calm authority. Mrs. Patmore, nervous about stepping away, eventually embraces it with dignity, leaving her beloved kitchen to Daisy. Daisy, once a timid girl, now flourishes as head cook, while her husband Andy steps into Carson's role as butler. Together, they represent the next generation of loyal service. Other staff members also find peace. Mr. Molesley, who once dreamed of being a writer, finally chooses stability with Miss Baxter, who in turn becomes Lady Mary's new maid. Anna and Bates, after years of hardship, enjoy a well-earned peace as they prepare to welcome another child, with Mary named godmother, a touching symbol of their bond. And then there is Thomas Barrow. For so long his life was marked by secrecy and loneliness, burdened by the prejudice of the times. But in the finale, he returns with actor Guy Dexter, his employer and now his partner. The Crawleys welcome Guy warmly, with Lady Mary making it clear that Barrow is part of the family, not just a servant. For the first time, Thomas is accepted openly and with dignity, his journey ending not in sorrow but in love. A clever historical touch comes with Niall Coward, inspired by Mary's scandals to pen what will become his famous play Private Lives. It is a reminder of how Downton's drama often intersected with the real history of its era. As the film closes, a final montage shows glimpses of the characters moving on with their new lives, settled, happy, and at peace. It assures viewers that while the story has ended on screen, life at Downton continues. What makes this finale resonate so deeply is that it captures the essence of what Downton Abbey has always represented. It was never only about aristocracy or service. It was about love, family, resilience, and change. Mary's leadership signals a new era. Robert and Cora's retirement shows that tradition must eventually yield to the future. Edith's triumph reflects perseverance. The staff's happiness honors the dignity of everyday lives. And Thomas's acceptance symbolizes progress in a changing society. There are no shocking twists or sensational endings, only closure, reflection, and hope. The grand finale allows each character to step naturally into their future, leaving viewers with gratitude for the journey. For fans, it is the chance to say goodbye to years of drama, joy, and tears. Downton Abbey closes its doors not with tragedy, but with grace, leaving behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations.